Cal Poly has drug tested almost 90 more football players this year than last. We'll tell you why.
San Luis Obispo Amped Guard meets once a week for Boffer combat and live-action roleplay. Find out what it takes to compete in one of these medieval battles.
A new social media app targets Greek life.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News. I'm Michelle Logan.
And I'm Dillon Payne. Mustang News starts now. The fraternity Pi Kappa Alpha, also called Pike, is under suspension after a reported sexual assault on Halloween night. Cal Poly says the incident took place at a party hosted by the fraternity on Foothill Boulevard, where several law enforcement agencies showed up after receiving noise complaints. The university is investigating what happened with help from chapter officers, the fraternity's national headquarters, and local authorities.
Cal Poly majors exceeding 180 units will be able to keep their current unit count. In 2013, all CSU campuses on the quarter system were required to standardize unit counts to 180. Cal Poly's Academic Senate requested an exemption for 16 majors requiring a higher unit count, such as aerospace engineering and civil engineering, whose students need 190 units. All exemptions were approved by the CSU chancellor. Associate Provost Dr. Mary Pedersen says the main goal is for students to fulfill their degree requirements and graduate in a timely manner.
The Cal Poly Athletics Department is drug testing more athletes. The Cal Poly Athletics Director says the change is because of an armed robbery involving Cal Poly football players over the summer. Police say the incident may have been drug-related. Half of the 550 athletes at Cal Poly will be randomly drug tested by the end of this quarter. Players are drug tested for any substances banned by the NCAA. The athletics department is now also checking for legal drugs found in prescriptions like Xanax and Valium. Some Cal Poly athletes think more drug testing is a good idea.
Many people get a flu shot each year hoping to prevent the disease. Reporter Taylor Phillips got her shot earlier this year. She took a camera along when she got her flu shot.
Oh, didn't hurt at all.
People often think the end of fall also means the end of flu season, but the season typically continues through early spring, so students are still at risk of getting sick. Influenza is an airborne virus, making it highly contagious, especially on college campuses.
Live in close quarters with each other. So if one person were to get sick, it would spread easily, and the vaccine helps prevent you from getting the flu.
So if you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, it's not too late. Flu shots are being offered at the health center, local pharmacies, and the SLO County Health Department.
Allen Hancock College will send student interns to Cal Poly. The National Institute of General Medical Science gave Hancock $966,000. This money will provide funding for 5 years. Hancock's Bridges to Baccalaureate program supports minority students that want degrees in biomedical fields. Every summer, a select number of students get to intern at Cal Poly and participate in science research projects.
It's essential that we have a diverse workforce in the biomedical fields because there are cultural and ethnic differences among everyone, and it's really important that we don't have, a single ethnicity.
Hancock is one of 3 colleges in the country to get funding for this program.
The Oxfam Hunger Banquet, held November 17th, left students with a lasting impression about global inequality. At the banquet, which was hosted by the Student Community Services Center, students randomly chose a high, middle, or low income tier. The high tier group was given a steak, while the low tier was given a half portion of rice to depict the latest poverty statistics. One coordinator said enforcing the unequal scenarios was worth it if he could promote change.
When you see the shocked expression on the face of a nice young girl who I had to tell to go to the back of the line so the guy in front of her could eat first, that's actually somewhat rewarding because you know that's one more person who might think later, like, wow, this is something that has to change.
The Hunger Banquet was part of a Student Community Services annual See the Need Week.
And coming up, a standoff between a fraternity and the university police. But it's not what you think.
On campus, you can dive into virtual reality, build robots, and use a 3D printer. We'll tell you where after the break.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
There's a new place on Cal Poly's campus that offers unique, fun, and advanced technological resources for students of all majors. Reporter Mallory St. George takes us to the Innovation Sandbox.
The Innovation Sandbox is a shared workspace where students can come together to brainstorm, build, and play. The space is filled with the latest prototyping tools, computers with ideation programs, and lots of hands-on technologies. The Sandbox is a part of Cal Poly's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. The goal is for students of all majors to have a place to go to make their ideas come to life.
Remember that robot idea you always had as a kid? And you didn't know how to make it? If you wanted to make it, you'd come here, because there are people here who are willing to help you bring that robot to life.
The Innovation Sandbox here at Cal Poly has tons of resources for all of its members. One of those resources is the Oculus Rift, a pair of virtual reality goggles that takes the user into its favorite games and virtual worlds. The Oculus Rift can take you on a tour of the solar system or in the virtual world of your favorite movies. Other resources include a Mayo, an intelligent armband that measures movement and models it onto a computer. It also includes a 3D printer that can create almost any model based off of a computer program layout or diagram. And lastly, a device called the Leap Motion 3D controller, which uses infrared light to measure hand motions, eliminating the need for a mouse.
Our goal is to be as useful as possible to the student body while having a good time with everyone that wants to be involved. So we're kind of a big family that just wants to have fun and build really cool stuff.
Mallory St. George, Mustang News.
The Innovation Sandbox is located in the Bonderson Project Center, room 205.
A Cal Poly fraternity and the University Police Department are facing off, but this time it's for a good cause. Police officers volunteered to get soaked for Phi Kappa Psi's fundraising event, Dunk an Officer. The money will go to the Special Olympics. Fraternity members gathered on Dexter Lawn to dunk fully uniformed UPD police officers. The price was $5 per ball or $15 for 3 balls and a t-shirt.
The fraternity approached us and asked if anybody would be interested in volunteering, and all of us like the cause, so we decided to come out today.
The event lasted for 3 hours, and the money raised helped sponsor one Special Olympian, which covers all their entry fees and everything they need.
The Multicultural Center celebrated Dia de los Muertos with a twist. The center tried to include other cultures in the traditional Mexican holiday. The altar theme, Everyday Heroes, was chosen in hopes of making all ethnic people and groups feel welcome to join in. The altar competition took place on the steps of the UU. A performance from Ballet Folklorico and Sugar Skulls were to honor the traditions of the celebration.
Cal Poly agriculture students are working on their predictions for 2039. This November, agriculture students dug up an over 25-year-old time capsule. The capsule was buried by ag students in 1988, with predictions for what the state of agriculture would be in 2014. Some predictions included the increased use of microwavable food and the rise in popularity of Macintosh computers. Bill Kellogg, a current department head, was one of the students who helped bury the capsule.
Was that there'd be some parking lots being placed on agricultural land. And sure enough, just up the hill from here, where it used to be a corral is now a parking lot.
A new time capsule will be buried in the same location in April of 2015 during Open House Weekend. The capsule will contain new predictions for the next 25 years.
Cal Poly wants students to celebrate cultural diversity. Cal Poly hosts a Culture Fest every year, which is sponsored by the Multicultural Center and the Dean of Students. Culture Fest was created to promote diversity and inclusivity for students. This year, the Culture Fest had performances by the Chinese Cultural Club and a Spanish folk dance by Imagen y Espiritu, along with other activities.
And it shows the community how diversity could improve the campus in a way, and yeah, I think it's important for the people that are like multicultural in Poly to have an outlet.
Next year, Culture Fest is scheduled to be on campus, so it can be more accessible to students. Culture Fest is free and open to the public.
And coming up, logging team members prepare to compete in a sport that very few have ever heard about.
I grew up in the house Dillon. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
The Cal Poly logging team teaches students how to compete in timber sports. Timber sports has multiple competitive events that involve in a range of actions from chopping, climbing, and sawing logs. The team won first place at the 75th Association of Western Forestry Club Conclave this year. The team is practicing on campus at the logging unit for the next conclave. The logging team also gets chopping time in at Cal Poly's Swanton Pacific Ranch in Santa Cruz.
It was a social factor to begin with, but then I was hooked on the actual events and just the camaraderie. And I grew up in the hills in a wooded area, so it was a natural fit.
The class is a one-unit credit, non-credit offered every quarter to all students.
The Cal Poly Research Pier is usually closed to the public, but twice a year it opens its gates. At the Pier's biannual open house, more than 1,000 people walk a kilometer to the end to learn about what lies beneath. This fall was no exception. Visitors got a chance to interact with several different student-made demonstrations. One of those, a diving booth where they could put on a scuba mask and breathe underwater.
It was really fun to see everyone either go from scared to stoked, or the kids who immediately just want to jump in. We had people coming back like 5 times, like, I can't wait to scuba dive when we grow up, and that's exactly what we want to see.
The next open house at the Cal Poly Pier will be in the spring.
On the corner of Oak and Santa Rosa is Santa Rosa Park, where people who drive by may see a glimpse into medieval times. We went out to see how members of Slow Ant Guard show up, ready for battle.
Originally, I started in high school. A friend told me someone was out in the park hitting people with sticks, and I thought that sounded pretty hilarious, so I went to check it out.
I heard about it, came out here one weekend, and I was hooked after that. I've been part of this group for about 7 years now.
I thought it was going to be something more like actual sword play instead of boxing, where you're trying to find your opponent's weak spot. You're trying to find a chink in your opponent's armor.
You don't just take a shot and then wait to see if it hit. Always, when you take a shot, you know you've left yourself open somewhere. So immediately after taking the shot, come back to defend wherever you've left over, because that's where the next shot is probably going to come.
High-level amp guard is very much a game of chess. You're constantly reading your opponent and trying to attempt to guess what they're about to do and employ the correct counters to them.
In general, I would say using good teamwork is probably the best strategy that anyone can go with.
If you work well with a teammate, it doesn't matter how individually good you are, as long as you work as a unit together. You can take out some of the better fighters, definitely.
It's a lot of fun. You don't get hurt. I mean, we get hurt sometimes, but I've never seen like an injury that it took somebody to the hospital. I mean,
if you think about it, it's just a silly game of tag, but you also get to hit your friends with sticks, and it's really hard not to be entertained by that.
For those who drive by the medieval scene, you can enjoy the show or join in on the battlefield Saturdays from 1 to 4 p.m.
Find out what Cal Poly football players earned awards at their yearly banquet.
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude. It's going to be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I'm loving your jacket.
Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills. Check. Driver's license. Check. And a high school diploma or GED.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.com.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet. $50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me.
What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm going to get the plate.
Wait!
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
Welcome back. Now we have Julian Delgadio with us here on the desk for your latest sport updates.
Thanks. So over 11,000 fans came out to Alex G. Spano Stadium for the Cal Poly men's soccer rivalry game against UC Santa Barbara this year. The game was a sellout for the 4th year in a row, and Santa Barbara's Nick Dupuis scored early, only 6 minutes into the first half, and again during the 21st minute. The Mustangs took more shots on goal in the second half, but could not score, and the game ended 2-0 in favor of Santa Barbara.
Early goal maybe shell-shocked us a bit more than we were expecting. Obviously giving up a goal 5 minutes in is challenging, but really proud of the players' response in the second half. To outshoot them, to make the shot count basically even.
The Mustangs finished this year in last place and will be starting next year with their new head coach, Steve Sampson. And a trio of linebackers earned top awards at the Cal Poly football banquet. Nick Zubnar, Cameron Ontucko, and Nick Moyer, all senior linebackers, were the top award winners, along with junior quarterback Chris Brown. Zubnar, who broke the Mustangs' single-season tackles record, was also named the team's most valuable player, while Ontucko, who notched 108 tackles, took home the most valuable defensive player. Zubnar is a finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award that will be given out in early January. The team finished the season with a 7-5 record and barely missed the playoffs this year. And a nice ending to Cal Poly's season after the controversy earlier in the year when 5 football players were arrested in connection with an attempted robbery at the Delta Sigma Phi fraternity house on August 10th. Cameron Atkins, Cortland Fort, Kristen Ivory, Jake Brito, and Dominique Love have pled not guilty to all charges. The players will appear in court again in January for a preliminary hearing, and a search warrant later served at the fraternity house resulted in an arrest of Gear McMillan of charges of possession of marijuana for sales and the possession of a controlled substance. McMillan pled not guilty to both charges. Moving on to men's basketball, Cal Poly team is setting off on a month-long road trip this December. The Mustangs, who currently sit at 3-3 overall, will not be back in Mott to host an opponent until January 10th. They will first take on Fresno State December 13th and finish off at Hawaii on January 7th. Senior guard Malik Love said he appreciates the support his family is giving him in a time where he won't get to see them as much as other Cal Poly students this holiday season.
Family really knows, or our family really knows that we're doing something special right now, and for them to let us do what we need to do without being at home is great.
After the road trip comes to a close, the Mustangs resume conference play January 10th at home against rival UC Santa Barbara. And one Cal Poly professor is going cuckoo over his cocoa creations. Find out after the break.
Lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range.
Enroll, we say. We want you to be okay. Enroll, we say. Take care, people, for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still
buy me treats. You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
Lights are off.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
And welcome back. You saw him on sports. You're going to be seeing him in Pollywood. Julian Delgadio has the latest. Julian?
Thanks, Dillon. One of the largest band concerts in the county takes place on Cal Poly's campus. Nearly 300 students performed at the 2014 Cal Poly Band Fest 2 weeks ago. The concert featured Cal Poly's Wind Orchestra, Wind Ensemble, and the Mustang Marching Band. The concert includes a variety of pieces including English folk songs, Japanese compositions, and a special arrangement of the U.S. National Anthem. The Mustang Marching Band features songs that are often heard at football games.
And a full array of wonderful, exciting band music, and we'll be combining both the Wind Orchestra and the Wind Ensemble for some of those pieces as well.
The event takes place during fall quarter every year. And an anonymous social media app has students talking about each other. Yik Yak has gained popularity over the quarter, and it allows users to anonymously vote and comment on a live feed based on their location. We took Yik Yak to the streets to see what Cal Poly students thought of the app. Although a majority of students had mixed opinions, there were multiple Yik Yaks aimed at members of Lambda Chi Alpha.
Lambda, the type of frat to say cha-cha-cha while singing happy birthday.
Lambdas are the type of guys to shave their legs. I can't help it, it's hereditary.
Lambdas are the type of guys that high-five and then interlock fingers.
Do you remember those kids on the playground that used to say timeout before getting tagged? Yeah, those guys grew up to be Lambdas. At least that wasn't it.
If you haven't heard of the app yet, now you have. Just remember, when posting anonymously, no one is safe. And one of Cal Poly professors is making organic chocolate. Professor Tom Newhouse owns the local chocolate shop Mama Ganache. Newhouse buys fair trade organic chocolates from Ecuador and Peru. Fair Trade Organic is an organization which buys chocolate and cocoa beans from small farmers.
So basically in the chocolate world, you have those who manufacture and those who melt, and they've been traditionally kept separate. Now we're beginning slowly a revolution where people are starting to make their own chocolate.
Mama Ganache is located at the corner of California and Monterey Street. And that about wraps it up for Polywood this year. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Julian. That's Mustang News for this week. You can tune into our weekly half-hour broadcast. That's on Charter Channel 19, UHTV Channel 7, and Campus Channel 2.
You can also find constant broadcast coverage on mustangnews.net.
And Cal Poly students celebrated Christmas with music. The concert was a combined effort of several different campus groups. The holiday event is called A Christmas Celebration. The show was conducted by music professor Thomas Davies. Polyphonics, the University Singers, and the Cal Poly Early Music Ensemble performed holiday favorites. The Cal Poly Brass Ensemble and 2 student a cappella groups, Take It Slow, and That's the Key, were also featured. And this has been your Mustang News broadcast for this December.